Hello, everybody.
Next matter is for Leon Williams, 4A0398010. Mr. Williams, please hit *6 to activate your audio.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. All right, sir, I'm pulling up your case here, and it looks like this is a speeding violation from April 24th, 17 miles over the limit.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you've asked to mitigate. I'm looking to see if you're eligible for a deferred funding. As I was explaining to the other person on the calendar, you get one every 7 years, but it's not available to commercial drivers, but I don't see any limitations of that sort. You're not a commercial driver. I'm looking at your history, and I don't believe you've previously obtained a deferred finding. Is that correct?
No, I've never had a traffic infraction.
Okay, so you're eligible for that. If you wanted to go that route, it's 6 months with no moving traffic violations, and it's $175. You also, with the mitigation, you can ask to just reduce the penalty. This would be a committed finding of speeding on your driving record, but I can lower the penalty. It's whether you want to keep a clean driving record.
Okay, so question: how soon would I have to pay the $100?
It's so you would have the committed finding in just $100 or $175.
I just want to know how soon would I have to pay the $100?
It's okay. It's not 100. It's 175, and you could. It's due in 30 days, or I can allow you to make 4 payments of $43.75 if you wanted to make time payments.
I would, because I have no income. Only thing I have is food stamps. This is all surrounding my grandkids. I'm locked in the bathroom right now. 4 of them are in the living room, and it was me trying to get here to prevent their dad from doing something crazy, or
Okay.
But so I would especially need the time payments.
Okay. All right. So
what are you guys doing in there? Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Okay. So I'm going to start filling out the paperwork. Do you still live on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hey, get out of the kitchen. All of you guys, get out of the kitchen. I'll be out in a minute.
Okay. So the conditions are starting today, 6 months from today, no moving traffic, payment of $175 for time payments of $43.75, and in 6 months we will review this for compliance. If you pick up new driving offenses, or if you don't follow through with the payment schedule, then the speeding will be found committed. But if everything goes well, this $269 violation will be dismissed and removed from your driving record.
Okay. One more question.
Yes. What
does the driving speeding have if it was in another state, would it affect me here?
I mean, yes, you just don't get any driving offenses.
Well, I have to take these kids. Well, I'm trying to take these kids to California in 2 weeks, and then I have to go to Arizona and take the other ones. So
yeah, but don't speed, because DOL, they communicate with each other.
Okay.
Okay. So does this sound like something you'd like to do?
Please, ma'am. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to indicate on this form that you are on Zoom. So I'm going to, in your signature line, put Zoom, and you'll get this in the mail, and there'll be a time payment agreement in there as well. I think the first payment would be due September 20th. So you have a little bit of time.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
All right. Drive carefully with those little ones.
I will.
All right. I'm going to move on to Mr. Gebra Selassie, and that is on the 2 o'clock calendar. This is a contested hearing for blocking a disabled parking access. Mr. Gebra Selassie, please activate your video as well.
Hello, this is Gabriel Selassie. I mean, I'm Gabriel Selassie's representative. I drive the car,
Okay,
but the name is my wife's name.
okay. Let's see,
So
this is parking 24007403. So this involves a Jaguar
yes,
F-Type 2019 with the plate is CJN 6565.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, and Merhawit is your wife, not you?
Yes, yes, she's my
Okay,
wife.
all
But
right.
I drive the car.
And what is your name?
Sagai Gabriel, Tsegay.
Okay. So this vehicle, the ticket goes to your wife. It goes to the vehicle because it goes to the registered owner. So it doesn't matter on this type of ticket. It's her responsibility. This vehicle was parked in a no parking. It was an officer issued ticket.
Yes. Well, I drive the car. It's in the name of my wife, but I'm the driver for the car, for the vehicle. So I was the person who parked the car. But why I'm contesting is the parking lot doesn't have the designation for disability. And it is the main door in our apartment where we load and unload kids and our staffs from grocery staffs, all this. So usually every tenant parks there and unload their stuffs. And the same thing, I came from Long Drive and I was unloading my kids. So the vehicle was there, but there is no clear sign that shows this is a disability parking or it doesn't have even hash. So I have a few pictures that I taken from the place. If it is okay, I can share that also.
Well, I also have photographs as well. So you can share your screen. So when we do a contested hearing, that means there's a denial that it occurred. And if we go through that, I read all the evidence that is available and I let you testify. So it sounds like you are contesting, but this is really a ticket that is going to be assigned to your wife because this is her vehicle.
Oh, okay.
It's
So
a little different than a
okay.
photo ticket. This is the vehicle was parked in the wrong spot. It's almost like if you have a parking meter that is over the limit. Okay, so I'm looking at what you have put here on the screen.
Yeah, as you can see, the top or the sign for the disability, they just finally, when we keep complaining why we get tickets, they just put it, but in the dark, nobody can see. On the floor, as you can see, the left side of the parking is where we load our stuffs to the apartment and unload. So we park here, and it was on this side. So I didn't take any space from this area if this is designated for the disability. But in the dark, I mean, in the night, there is no way we can see the sign for the disability parking. At the same time, the floor was not, that didn't have any sign. So as a new tenant to this apartment,
Okay, what didn't have any sign?
I'm sorry.
I'm looking at this picture that you're showing me, and there is a wheelchair disabled parking sign up above. I see your cursor on that.
Yes,
So,
that's the roof. This is on the top of the roof.
okay.
And I don't know when they put it, actually, because this was already empty. And I never see anyone parking with a wheelchair sign also. It is, for me, it is a designated parking for tenant. But as you can see on the top of the roof, they just put this sign.
Okay, but that's not where you were parked, correct?
No, not this one. I was here. As you can you see my cursor? I was horizontally parking here on
Right.
this side. And this
And
is where
that looks like that's a walk area for, is that a door back there?
yeah, there is a door here. We walk in this way and we open this and there is elevator on through this door. So we usually unload our stuffs and take kids here to we unload the kids, unload everything and take them through this door, and we use the elevator inside this door.
Mhm.
So for
But
me,
there's
I mean,
also a no parking sign on the wall there.
this is a new one.
Well,
Actually, if it is no parking also, this is for this area, not on the street. Mine was here on this down, and every truck, every car vehicle comes and parks here to load or unload their stuffs. I don't know why mine was taken special. And it was in the midnight, in the night that I have to drop my kids, and it was not long that I parked it there actually, but unfortunately, the ticket.
well, that sign says it's a no parking tow away zone. So,
Yes, but it's not on the no parking area that I parked. It was here, down here where we park, where we even the apartment manager is okay. I see other cars spending the night there. They don't get ticket actually.
well, that maybe that's because the police officer isn't there the night that they're parked there. That is not a parking space. I mean, that's very clearly not a parking space. There's disabled parking next to it, which you can see where the oil, you know, where cars have been there. It's got the disabled parking. To the left there, it looks like that must be where people walk. There's a no parking, it's a tow away zone. So even though you're not pulled in tight, you're in that area. I
Yes,
don't,
but this is where we use the carts to load unload our stuff.
I understand that's what you're doing, but when you are parked there, whether you're loading or unloading, no one's in the car, right? The officer's there, she takes a number of photographs of that area. You're in a spot where you're not supposed to be. And, you know, it's long enough that it's there where she can issue the ticket. She took a number of pictures from the front of the car, the back of the car. She took a picture of the wall. She indicates in her police report at 12:27, she saw the Jaguar parked next to the disabled parking spot. The vehicle's parking would make it inaccessible to the access aisle for the person who required access. In addition, the property has a sign that is visible behind the vehicle, which states no parking. She issued the ticket to the registered owner for blocking the disabled parking access aisle and left it on the window. And she took the photographs. So, Mr. Gebrselassie, if someone parks their car right there, I can see that if they are in a wheelchair, they can't wheel up those steps. They have to go up where the ramp is. That's how someone who's disabled needs to access the building. They need to be able to park their car and then use that ramp to get up to the doorway. The photographs that they provided shows that there is a car parked in the disabled parking. It shows your car pulled up tight, right up to the railing. So there would be no room at all for anyone in a wheelchair to access that ramp. That's the reason the citation was issued. So there was a white car there, and then your car is pretty sizable, and it would block with the pillars and that railing. Someone would not be able to use that parking area. And, you know, this is a significant situation for someone who needs access. You know, that someone who's not able-bodied, they are not able to get in and out of the building. So even though you might just be there for 10 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever long that you were loading and unloading, that creates a hardship for someone else. That's why it's designated, and that's why the tickets are so expensive.
But Your Honor, if I mean, as a tenant, this is the only door that I can access to my apartment. And
Yes.
I can't park anywhere because it is in the night. I brought my kids from a long drive, so I can't park with two kids far away. This is the only accessible place I have, and I have to carry one of my baby and the other kid and took them home. When I come back, that's what I got the ticket. But still, I didn't. To be honest with you, the wheelchair sign is not visible to anyone, let alone in the dark, even in the daytime. At the same time, there is no hash even to. I never be aware of this spot is for a disabled person because it doesn't have any sign at all. And the next parking spot, I mean, the next area, it doesn't have any hash sign. And that's why I just used this space for a moment. I didn't park the car for the night, but I parked it for about 30 minutes, to be honest with you, and dropped my kids. I put them in the bed and came back to move the car to other place. But at that time, I saw the police officer was leaving. So I can't say anything, but I found the ticket. This is the situation that happened. So my contestant, why I'm contesting is, I'm not saying I didn't park, but what I'm saying is the location is not well informative to someone who can see that he is violating the rule.
Okay.
So,
Mr. Gabraselassie, I completely disagree with you. Okay, I am going to dismiss this as a warning, but I want you to understand that I don't believe that you didn't know. I know that you live there, you see that sign, that is a disabled parking spot. The area where you parked is a walking area, it's not a parking space, and it's for people to access going up into the building. So whether you're there for 10 minutes, 30 minutes, or 2 hours, you are taking away the ability of someone who needs disabled access. You're taking that away from them, and that is simply not okay. So I'm going to dismiss this, but I want you to heed this as a warning. There is signage on the wall. There's the sign hanging above that parking strip. That is not a place for you to pull in. I understand that you had young kids and I mean, this could be the excuse everyone uses. They have too many groceries. They have whatever's going on. It's just not a spot for people to be parking. It's not meant to be a parking area. It's a tow away zone. And so it is not acceptable for you to park there. And going away it must be a problem for a police officer, presumably, that there's issues with people blocking it. Otherwise, I can't imagine the police department is out there patrolling this parking area. But that is when someone needs to be able to use that ramp, the law requires that you not park in a disabled zone. And then right there, you're parked in an area that would completely make someone in a wheelchair unable to get into that building. And that's not okay. So I will dismiss this as a warning, but I want you to be mindful that this is not a parking zone. You'd be very likely to get another ticket if you are using it in that manner, and anyone else in your building, if they're using it in that manner, could be cited. It's a $450 ticket, which is very pricey because we need to be respectful of those that need the access. Okay, so I want to be very clear that I'm going to dismiss this, but I 100% believe that this violation was committed, that was blocking access. It was 12:27 in the morning, and that at that point in time, that car was illegally parked and was prohibiting, if that person in the white car who was parked there in the disabled spot, if they had wanted to leave while you were in your unit, they would have been stuck. And so that's just not okay. But I will dismiss this, and I hope you heed this as a warning and it doesn't happen again. All right?
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, and you were sharing your screen, so you'll have to disable that.
Okay,
Thank you.
I will.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.